بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. What is the definition of classroom management?
What are the major tips that a teacher must follow to reach a successful classroom management?
What is the role and the behavior of the teacher inside the classroom?
Classroom management refers to the multidimensional and varied ways in which learner behaviors, movements, interaction are organized by a teacher during the lesson to make teaching conductive to effective learning.
As another definition, classroom management is a term used by teachers in order to describe the process they go through to ensure that the classroom runs smoothly without disruptive behaviors.
Let's know some basic tips that a teacher must follow in order to reach a well-organized and successful classroom management.
Let us discover some roles and behaviors of a teacher inside the classroom. The teacher has several roles inside the classroom, like controller,
Organizer.
a participant and a source,
In addition to this, the teacher must
be smiling.
be kind and strict when needed.
Also, the teacher must be patient and observer.
There are some rules and orders that must be obeyed inside the classroom.
In addition to some formal rules like be on time, respect your teacher and your classmates, the teacher has also the right to order his or her students, for example, sit down, stand up, go out, write down, and so on. Teacher Jamal, can you tell us some ways to avoid and prevent the disruptive behaviors from students?
For sure, so there are many ways to avoid and prevent the disruptive behavior inside the classroom. As a good teacher, so you can avoid this kind of behaviors by a careful planning of the lesson. When the lesson is clearly planned and organized, the student's attention will be kept on the task. As a result, so the learning gap will not be allowed.
The second way is fairness. That is to say, the teacher should always avoid having favorite students or picking up particular individuals. In another word, the teacher should be fair with students inside the classroom.
The third way is to establish interpersonal relationship. Because if students respect each other, they are more likely to cooperate inside the classroom.
The fourth and the last way is methodology. That's to say, the methods and approaches which should be used by a teacher inside the classroom. In another word, the teacher should avoid boring classes by using variety of techniques, and also he or she should time his or her activities carefully. For example, as a planning, you may specify 15 minutes for grammar and 15 minutes for communication or skills. So, if you overpass these 15 minutes, you may create such a kind of boringness inside the classroom.
How can teachers avoid rising problems by students?
It's a phenomenon that occurs always, but there are some ways to do it. We can avoid raising problems by students by, as a teacher, when a naughty student in your class raises a problem, you shouldn't wait, but you should react immediately.
You as a teacher should not use threats.
You should also deal with the problem quickly. What if the problem has been exploded?
Also, there are ways to avoid this. Don't raise your voice and try to calm down as much as possible.
Also, try to avoid talking to the students within his friends, but wait until the class ends and then speak to the students individually. Let's imagine that this student is uncontrollable and he or she wants to raise more problems. In this situation, you may write a report to the administrator so as to call the father of that student.
To sum up, the perfect or the effective way to control your classroom depends on the way you reward students. In other words, the method of rewarding and how a teacher can apply it inside the classroom successfully.
Finally, This video was about the classroom management. We tried to cover most of the ideas about this topic, and I hope that you understood. If we didn't mention anything you know, or if we missed anything, please tell us in a comment. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video with a new lesson.